All right, Chandler, thank you so much. All right, so some of the best athletes in the country are going to be in Columbia over the next couple of days. I think it's safe to assume that they can be titled elite athletes.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you know, some of us believe elite athletes are born differently than we are, but you know what? Physical traits of elite athletes actually do set them apart from us normal people.
Right, but those are not the only qualities that set them apart from us regular folks. Health reporter Rosemarie Beltz is here to talk about how they always tend to have fewer health problems when they are elite athletes.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Right. And when you think about it, if you're pushing your body 8 to 10 hours a day beyond what human limits are, you're going to bound, I would think, to have some benefits. I know people say that might be a little too much. There's some controversies, but there are some solid studies out there. 2014, 2015 out of University of Southern California. Another study published in the Journal of Sports Medicine that focused on college athletes specifically and elite athletes. And by far, the benefits of being an athlete carry on through life. Cardiovascular, whether you run, swim, bike, your life expectancy is improving by 8 to 10 years.
8 to 10 years?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Right.
And Darcy, where are the athletes?
If you get the urge to ride the Tour de France, athletes like that, 40% their mortality will increases like their life expectancy by 40%.
Wow.
I know.
So this study looked at more than 450,000 athletes. So this was a very comprehensive study. Did it break it down based on sport or sex or the number of years that the athlete played, or what were some of the parameters?
Sure. It was more like the sport per se, like the high cardiovascular endurance, including like soccer, a lot of running, and it did compare different sexes, different ages against each other. So it was pretty interesting. And then they looked at some of the benefits that they did find were one of your resting heart rate, that cardiovascular resting heart rate. Our normal heart rate's about 60 to 100 resting, meaning how hard our heart has to beat. An athlete, their heart only has to beat about 40 beats per minute. Really efficient. So their heart's doing a lot less work to get the
40?
oxygen. Yeah.
Okay, I got to ask you a dumb question because I bought my first, what's our band called?
Fitbit.
And it gives you your resting heart rate. Does
Yes.
that mean your resting heart rate on an athlete would say 40? Like
Yes. So they're a lot lower. So
that's
their
very low.
body-
What's yours say right now?
I don't know. I didn't know I could.
Okay, wait. Just out of
Tell it.
Yes. Why
I
don't
have
you
no
look
idea.
at this?
And you're
don't know.
sitting right now, so so you know, this is a pretty
Doesn't show
accurate.
it.
You probably even had some caffeine.
Okay, she needs to
plenty of
update
caffeine.
caffeine, but that tells me my resting heart rate. Okay, so not only does it give your heart benefits, but you said it gives your mind benefits too, which I think is fascinating.
Yes, psychological, definitely psychological benefits, where you're thinking you're getting all that exercise, you're going to boost your immune system, all that oxygen's getting to your brain, it's going to increase your memory, it's going to increase your brain function, it's also going to then improve your stress, decrease your anxiety, depression. They actually did a study, I thought this was interesting, for high school athletes. They looked at 127 athletes, actually in North Carolina, the North Carolina Athletic Association. They found that student athletes just in high school decreased dropout rates and increased GPA. So kind of erases that whole, people question athletes. I mean, I was an athlete. I mean, kids with athletes, right? You're in a team sport. There's a lot of positive things in that.
Okay.
So that erases
All
that
right.
whole dumb jock.
There's no such thing
Motivated
as a
by
dumb
passion.
jock.
No.
All right,
She and I are
Rosemarie.
going to join a soccer team right now because I want that extra 8 to 10 years on my life.
I'm just going to probably find the treadmill after this. It's fine.
All good.
Thank you, Rosemarie.
All right, folks, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Jim Gandy has a look at your forecast next.